Hi, my name's Steve Lodge. I want to talk a bit today about my awakening and a few of the things on the path at the very beginning, just because a cousin of mine has asked me to do this video, so this is for him and anyone else it may resonate with. I started waking up, fully becoming conscious, when I started understanding the lie we live, the mind-based lie. I started noticing just little things and I was like, this doesn't add up. I'd read the newspaper, I'd watch the news, I was an avid patriot and all the rest of that stuff, but things didn't start sitting right. I had something inside me that kept conflicting with what my head was telling me and what I was being fed through the media and other sources all around me was telling me something that just didn't resonate with me. And I thought, oh, I'm going mad, this isn't right, what's going on? So I started questioning stuff. I started looking a little bit deeper. I started to research stuff. And this was probably about, I'd say, maybe about 9 years ago. And I started discovering things didn't add up. And the things that didn't add up was what was in my gut. So I'd look at something and I'd be like, the news would tell me something like, we're going to bomb this country, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we need to do it. And I'm like, this story keeps repeating itself. It doesn't sit right. And then I'd research and I'd be like, it's funny how my intuition is telling me one thing and the media is telling me another. Now, anyone that knows this subject knows that all the media is owned by certain families, the same families that own everything else. Especially countries like America are owned by these families, the Federal Reserve and stuff like that. Now, a lot of people aren't going to know what I'm on about here, and I won't go into it too much unless people want me to, because I know this triggers a lot of people's belief systems, and it's a dodgy path to walk unless the right person comes to you and they actually want to know and understand. So I don't talk about this subject unless I am specifically asked about this subject. Now, as I say, this is part of my awakening, so that's why I'm discussing it now. Just in case anyone else is at this point where everything that they're being shown around them is conflicting with what they feel on the inside. Just so you know, what you're feeling on the inside is correct. What you're being manipulated with on the outside isn't. And once you understand this, then you understand how mind control works. I have people saying, no one can control my mind. We're not under mind control. There's plenty of people out there, dead and brown. The Dynamo will show you that mind control can happen, and it's all subliminal. We are under mind control. If you've ever walked in somewhere and bought something through advertising that you didn't want, and you've got home and you've went, why did I buy that? Because you were manipulated mentally into buying it. Now, being manipulated mentally doesn't mean you're weak-minded. It means you're identifying with your mind and you're looking for your happiness with your mind. So they offer you the carrot of, this will make you happy, something shiny, and your mind goes, ooh, something shiny, I want some of that. And then off you go. They tell you all the right stuff. They're trained on how to manipulate the mind. So I understand this a lot more now through the hypnotherapy and stuff. So this is why I'm discussing this, is because this is the conflict. To wake up, you need to shed all your preconditioned beliefs. And this is the hardest part, because everything's going to want to pull you back, and everything is designed to pull you back. They don't want us waking up, because once we wake up, we're not interested in what they have to offer to keep us quiet, to keep us perceivedly comfy, while we're paying for houses that we can't even live in because we're at work doing jobs we hate. This is not how it should be. What we would be doing is we'd be farming our own land, we'd be looking out for each other, we'd be a community once again. This is how it should be, and this is what we should be doing. This doesn't say the system doesn't work. What it says is, for me, the system has been manipulated. And it's no longer serving the people are serving the system. So once I started understanding this, and this goes way deeper, this goes deeper and it'll blow your mind to the level of depth that this goes to. And I'm not going to go on to it here. I may do again later, but I just want to make it clear on how I recognised my waking up, my intuition to my mind and my belief systems. So once I knew my belief systems were just that, belief systems, and weren't actually me, it was something that I was been programmed to believe. So I'd be patriotic, I'd fight for my country, I would do all this type of stuff. If I was born in any country, I'd be led to believe that I was that country. Whereas we're all free to roam. There is no borders. And I know this will conflict with a lot of people. And, you know, I'm not here to tell you what to think or how to think it. I'm explaining my journey and what helped me wake up. And this is for people who are at this point on their path, where they're at that conflicting moment of, I feel drawn to this, but my head's dragging me to that. Everything I know is this. Everything that's going forward is that. So this is for them people and anyone else who wants to listen. It's all good. So that was where I was at. And I got pissed off and I got angry and I couldn't believe what was going on. And I was like, oh my God, what is going on? What is going on? And I felt like my whole world had been stuck on a hand grenade and just exploded into 1,000 pieces. But with this went my ego and my identification with my ego and everything I knew as me. I'm English, I'm this, I'm that, and all that other rubbish that is not true. All that exploded and I became just me. And when I became just me, I was like, oh, so all this stuff that I thought was me and I was hanging on to with everything I had, it was me, it was me, it was me, I'm English, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. Once it all went, I was like, now I'm me. I'm actually me now. All that other stuff wasn't me. And that was when I first got that taste of awakening. And it was like I can't even think of the word, but it was, yeah, I'm not going there, I'm going to lose it. It was like an epiphany, that's the one. And I just went, wow, I can't believe all this suffering I've done due to this identification in my mind. And once it had went, and the identity went, and my attachment to that identity, it freed me. And it was liberating. And I was like, wow, this is fantastic. But it was only brief. And then I'd start questioning it. My mind would latch on it and we'd go, yeah, but this doesn't work, mate. You've got to do this, and that's nonsense. And how can you believe in spirits and awakening and magic and energy and all that nonsense? Because that's what I've been conditioned to believe. It's all nonsense. Just go and get a job and get on with your life, will you? Stop talking that rubbish, will you? Come out of the cloud. Stop daydreaming in La La Land and all the rest of that. That's what I was led to believe. And that's what my mind was programmed with. So the minute I started waking up, my mind would repeat all of this stuff that I'd been programmed with. But what I started doing then, it was like, actually, you know what? I'm not listening to that. There was a moment which also woke me up along this path a little bit further on when I started questioning stuff. I looked through the internet and I saw a book, Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. Now, I bought that book. Something resonated with me and I was like, this is a book. I bought it. I think it was about 3 hours later, a friend of mine, Ben Walker, phoned me up and he was like, he messaged me, sorry. And he was like, hey, Steve, I've got a present here for you. And I was like, oh, yeah, cheers, mate. He was like, oh, it's this stuff that you're always talking about. My girlfriend had this book and I looked through the book and it's fantastic. It's exactly what you keep talking about to me. I was like, oh, brilliant. And I was like, what's the name of the book? And it was The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I said, how long ago did you buy that? And he goes, about 3 hours ago. And I was like, that's synchronicity. So I knew that book was for me. So I ended up with 2 of this book. Because one way or another I was getting that book. And the minute I read that book, it was like reading my life. And it was like, wow, I am not insane. Everything I've ever known and everything that's bugged me, that is the truth, was written in that book. And it resonated with me and I was like, yeah. That gave me the inspiration to follow my path and to know I wasn't going crazy, I wasn't a loner, and what I knew was right. And I followed that then. Then the next step for me was retraining for 5 years to become an electrician, to get to New Zealand, to start my new life. And I knew this was my path. I know this is my path now, and I stay to my path. And I'll follow my path to the day I die, because that's my path. And I stay true to my path. I don't get distracted by shiny things or other materialistic things that are telling me this is going to make you happy. That is, I meditate and I ground. So grounding is anything barefooted really in nature, on the beach, in the water. It helps me ground. Even visualizations, I'll sit and I'll imagine roots growing through my feet into the ground and connecting. This helps me ground. I'll also meditate. This clears my thoughts. So with the grounding and the meditation, I know what's me. And to know what's you is important, because when you know what is you, you know everything else isn't you. And as an empath, when you walk into crowds and stuff like that, you're bombarded with energy, so you don't know what you're feeling. But rather than trying to work out what's everyone else, remind yourself what is you. And then you know everything else isn't you. And this is what I found helped me the best to be in crowds. Just know what is you. And then when you feel other stuff, like I say, you'll be like, I know that's not me. That's not my energy. That's not my energy. And then you can choose what you'll allow in and what you don't allow in. But you have that barrier. I also barrier myself with crystals now. I'll meditate with crystals now. This is something that sort of resonated with me and I picked up on, and I'm starting to feel the energy, and I'm guided to which crystals to have, where to use them and how to use them. And I think it's fantastic. And this is a major part of any awakening process. You need to protect yourself. And I know at first I used to be like, I can't be bothered meditating because my mind was too active. I can't meditate. My monkey mind keeps chatting, chat. How can I stay still? If you want to wake up, you have to. You can't wake up and become awakened without quietening your mind, and you do this through meditation. You need to ground, otherwise energies come onto you and this will put you back in your mind. You need to do this stuff. And also for awakening and taking on these extra energies, you need to purify your body. So you'll probably find that you're getting stuff you want to purge, you're looking for more vegetable, you're looking for life in your food, you're looking towards nutrients. The old stuff that used to have McDonald's and stuff like that, if you eat it, that's fine. I'm not here to judge. Personally, I don't. You'll start wanting that less and less. Or this is what I found on my path. Because my body has to be right to take the higher frequency energy. I can't eat low frequency food while I want higher frequency energy inside me. It doesn't work. So, yeah, I hope this has helped just to explain how I got here. I'll probably do more videos. There's a lot more to this than that. I don't want to upset anyone. I know talking about subjects like this, especially when you're talking about people's belief systems, it's difficult. And I'm not here to judge. I see the whole of life as a path. I'm where I am on the path. They're where they are on the path. Some are behind, some are in front, some are in the same place. It's a journey. It's a journey we're all doing. Some people want to go further. Some people are happy where they are. It's all unique to what our sole purpose is on this planet. Anyway, hope you all have a fantastic day. Love and light. And I hope this video has helped. Thanks.